Hey there, Erin Bradley here, coming to you again from the van on a rainy day. All right, so last week, if you saw my video, you might have noticed that I started to kind of tease the process of writing a job description. So I kind of want to dig a little bit deeper into that this week. So I truly believe that it doesn't matter what stage you are in your business, you should have an assistant, either part-time or full-time. It doesn't really matter. The video I shared last week is all about how we're not all good at everything, so stop trying. But truly, what I have found in my own experience after many years of resisting the idea of hiring help out of fear of can I afford it and what happens if I fail and all these other things that are just our fear holding us back from reaching our true potential, what I discovered along the journey is that I'm so lucky to be surrounded by a group of people on my team now that are so gifted in their own unique ways, and that each of our gifts are unique, but they're very complementary. And when you surround yourself with somebody who truly enjoys executing on activities that you don't enjoy or aren't necessarily good at or don't have time for and are simply inconsistent with, what ends up happening is you create essentially like a superhuman, because as an individual, we can only do so much. Every one of us has the same amount of hours in a day. And what ends up happening is with each transaction that we do, we have to do more of every task associated with making that experience amazing for our clients. So as your business begins to grow, which it inevitably will, once you start doing the things you need to do to grow your business, the volume, the transactions are not necessarily going to be your bottleneck. Your bottleneck is going to be your time. And then with your lack of time comes a lack of energy. And with your lack of energy, your enthusiasm wanes. Wanes? Is that a word? Wanes? Okay, whatever. You know what I'm saying. So we need to figure out what it is that you need to offload. So in order to write a job description, all you need to do is literally carry around a piece of paper or go to pursuingfreedom.com/resources and download all the free resources there. There's a time tracker there. But all you need to do is just start writing down everything you do on a daily basis, really everything from the moment you wake up till you fall asleep at night, so that you can first gain awareness of, number one, where are you finding inefficiencies, where you're just allowing yourself to be distracted or pulled in too many directions at once, where you're not being effective and focused with clarity on what you should be doing. Number two is, where are you doing things that actually suck the life out of you? Because there's certain activities that we all do. And in some cases, you have to analyze, does this need to be done at all? Or am I just making myself busy with busyness for the sake of being busy without being effective? If it needs to be done, am I the only person that can do it? And if it needs to be done and I'm the only person who can do it, can I batch those activities? For example, managing your inbox. If you spend all day checking emails at every red light and every time you're in line for a cup of coffee and at every nook and cranny of your day until you fall asleep, chances are you're not operating at your peak performance. You're not operating at your peak energy, and you don't even know it. You don't even know that you're allowing your energy and attention to be hijacked by everybody else's agenda all day, every day, and therefore you're falling a little bit flat in the areas that you should be shining. So I know, for example, that when I process my inbox to empty, which I do once or twice a day, I know that I feel a little bit energetically low, which is different than how I feel if I have a meeting with a client or a team member or a coaching client, because for me, talking with other human beings energizes me, and that's just the way that I'm wired. Now, there's people on my team who are drained by spending time talking to human beings. They're actually drained by people. So they know that on the heels of maybe a team meeting, they might actually be energetically drained. So they need to know what they need to do to reset themselves to be at peak performance when they're doing what they do to be successful in their role. So what I mean by that is that when you look at everything you do on a daily basis, don't just look at what did I get done today, but look at how did I feel doing that activity? How did I feel afterwards? Was I fired up, high, and excited? Or was I a little bit low, a little bit depressed? Because, for example, as a people person, if you're a people person, you know that when you work files all day long and don't talk to anybody, at the end of the day, you just feel a little bit like meh. And sometimes I feel like I just flop on the couch and I'm just like, at the end of the day. That's because I didn't do anything to infuse me with energy. And I did a lot of energy draining activities. And unfortunately, what happens is as your transactions start to increase, energy draining activities increase alongside. It's inevitable. And then what ends up happening is you squeeze out the opportunity for those energizing activities, those high level activities that you should be spending most of your time doing, because now you're just not in the mood. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, you go to make phone calls. You're supposed to make calls every day to your sphere and to your clients to build relationships, and you just don't feel in the mood today. That is an indication you've been doing energy draining activities. That's what you need to be looking at. And everything that shows up on your to-do list that makes you feel meh is part of the job description. And I promise you that just because you don't love those activities does not mean there's not other people out there that genuinely enjoy those things. That's what's so beautiful about the diversity of us as human beings, is that there are people that love to do what I hate to do, and there's people on my team that would hate to do what I love to do. So it's perfect. We get together, we make a superhuman, we create a more positive impact. We are able to impact the lives of more people as a result. And we're able to create a wider ripple effect that ultimately attracts more of the right kinds of relationships into our life and business, so that collectively we grow as human beings and business professionals, which is a win for everyone. It's a win for everyone on the team. It's a win for everyone we interact with. It improves the experience that we're giving to the clients. We try to convince ourselves that being a one-man band is the best way to be. It's not, because you're not always operating at peak performance when you're simply doing too much. So I need you to start really considering what needs to be taken off of your plate to create the space. The job description is all of those tasks that are either not getting done with 100% consistency, even if you think nobody can do it as good as you. If it's not being done with 100% consistency, it's not working, okay? So anything that's not being done consistently, that can be done by somebody else. With 100% consistency, even if they're not as good as you, is going to be better than 20% consistency. Anything that you dread or procrastinate can be done by somebody else. Anything that you enjoyed learning to do in the past, and you know it's impactful and you know you're capable of doing it, but for some reason you're not in the mood, that can be done by somebody else. It is acceptable to graduate from certain activities. You should be graduating. You are evolving as a human being, and your business should be evolving with you. And if you're new to the business, you should be planning for this evolution in your future if you really want to be successful. So, as always, reach out to me with questions and feedback. I love and appreciate you. I love hearing from you, and I'm committed to your success and your happiness. So go get them, Tiger, and I'll see you next time.